Hi everyone, we are on day 4 of Sefer Tomer Devorah. Beautiful, beautiful book, very deep. And it's not only said that the study of this book is a segula against a well-known illness, but those who've been following for the last 3 days, just in 3 days, what a tremendously deep book this is. And just to recap, the sefer was talking about how that Hashem bears the insults of our actions, our averot has v'shalom, that we do, that he could take away the ability of our arms and limbs, but he doesn't. And we have this chutzpah to kind of go against him with the abilities that he's given us. If that wasn't enough, that he then continues to bear the insult by partially sustaining the accusers that draw sustenance from our life force, as it was due to be everything needs to be sustained. But if it were to come solely from us, we'd probably cease to exist. Has v'shalom. So this is tremendously deep, and it just speaks to a Kadosh Baruch Hu's mercy towards us, and also that we are all part of each other. That we, we shouldn't be so happy to see our fellow fall, because that in turn also hurts us, and vice versa. We should also be happy when our fellow is doing well, because in turn that also benefits us, because we are all part of one. So this is incredibly deep and tremendously insightful. But we're on day 4, and the title is "He Does Not Retain His Wrath Eternally." This is another attribute, that even when a person persists in sinning, Kadosh Baruch Hu does not retain his wrath. And even when he does retain it, it is not forever. Rather, he nullifies his anger even if a person does not repent, as we find in the days of Yeravam ben Yoash, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu restored the borders of the land of Israel. Melachim B 14:26. They were worshippers of idols, but he had mercy on them. Though they did not repent. If so, why did he have mercy on them? Because of this attribute of not retaining his wrath forever. On the contrary, he deliberately alleviates his wrath, even though the sin still exists. He does not punish immediately. Rather, he waits hopefully and has mercy on the sinners, on the possibility that they will repent. This is the intention of the verse, "Not forever will he battle, nor will he bear a grudge for eternity." Tehillim 103:9. Rather, HaKadosh Baruch Hu conducts himself with both tenderness and harshness, all for the benefit of Bnei Israel. For he is desirous of kindness. We have already explained elsewhere, Pardes Rimonim, Shar Hichalos, chapter 5, that in a certain heavenly chamber, angels are appointed to receive the grants of kindness that man performs in this world. And when the attribute of strict judgment accuses Bnei Israel, these angels immediately display those acts of kindness to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he has mercy upon Bnei Israel, since he is desirous of their kindness. And even though they may be guilty, he has mercy on them if they grant kindness to one another. This can be compared to the time of the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash, when it is said that the angel Gabriel, "Go between the Galgal beneath the Keruv, and fill your hands with the burning coals from among the Keruvim, and throw them on the city." Yehezkel 10:2. For he, Gabriel, is the angel of judgment and strictness, and he was given permission to receive the powers of judgment from the fire of the altar, which is between the Galgal below the Keruvim. This is the judgment according to the strictness of Malchus, which became so severe that it sought to destroy everything and uproot the core of Bnei Israel, because they had incurred the penalty of annihilation. However, the passage continues in the same chapter. The form of man's hand appeared under the wings of the cherubim, meaning HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to Gabriel, "They grant kindness towards one another." Vayikra Rabbah 26:8. So even though they were guilty, they were saved, and a remnant of them was left. The reason for this is due to the attribute of he is desirous of kindness, meaning the kindness that Bnei Israel grant for one another, And he reminds them in the heavenly court of this righteous aspect of them, even though the other aspects, they are not righteous. Hence, it is proper for a man to conduct himself with this attribute, even if one is aware that another person is committing evil against him and angers him. Nevertheless, if he has some good redeeming quality, for example, he's benevolent to others, or he possesses some other good trait which with he conducts himself righteously, this good side of him should be sufficient for one to nullify his anger against him and to have a positive feeling towards him and to desire his kindness and say, it is enough for me that he has this good quality. How much more so does all this apply to one's wife? Our sages explain. It is enough that they raised our children and save us from sin. So too one should say to himself with regard to every man, it is enough that he has done for me or someone else such and such a favor, or that he has such and such a positive quality, and he should always be desirous of kindness. This concludes day 4.